Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Now at 5 a.m. on WKYT and new this morning, police have made an arrest in connection with Lexington's latest murder. We'll have more on that story coming up very shortly.
A UK football freshman will be in court later today. He's accused of rape. We'll give you the latest details.
And Lexington holds a police brutality rally as Ferguson, Missouri protests heat up. Those stories and more, breaking news as it happens, coming up on WKYT This Morning. Hello there, good morning, welcome. It's good to have you with us on this Thursday as we go rolling toward the weekend, a big one in Lexington with a lot going on from the football game to the last day of Keeneland. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith, and we are getting, dare I say it, just one more day closer to the Cheesecake Factory opening up.
Oh, well, why not? We'll put that in there too. And
Random
Halloween
factoid.
And all those things. That's right.
Yeah.
Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris. He is in our First Alert Weather Center. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. It looks pretty good outside. We have the clouds overhead, and I just don't see anything going on this morning. So no fog threat, no rain threat. It's on the cool side, but it's not cold. I mean, you can see temperatures, all of us there in the 40s, well into the 40s, mid to upper 40s to be exact. So we're right there at 49 degrees in Lexington, 48 in Frankfort, mid 40s elsewhere. And then we see a cool and dry day at 59 degrees. We're going to be much better as we hit toward the afternoon because I'm hoping we get some sunshine. Some of us did yesterday, some of us did not. So hopefully all of us do see that. As we head into the weekend, warmer and dry, looks much better and much more improved. And I'll show you that forecast in about 10 minutes.
Okay, we'll see you then. We thank you, and let's get to the news.
New this morning, police have arrested a teenager in connection with Lexington's latest murder.
19-year-old Nathan Miller is now charged with complicity to murder in connection with the death of Jeffrey Adams. Adams was shot and killed at his apartment complex on McCullough Drive last week. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel is live from the Fayette County Detention Center with the latest on Miller's arrest. Whitney, good morning.
Good morning. So far, police have only arrested Nathan Miller in connection to Friday's shooting, but according to court records, he did not act alone. 19-year-old Jeffrey Adams was shot multiple times at an apartment complex on McCullough Drive in the Winburn area. That happened around 10:30 Friday morning. Firefighters found Adams lying in a hallway on the second floor. He was pronounced dead at the scene. According to court documents, Miller and other co-defendants arranged to meet with Adams for a drug deal, and that's when he was killed. Now it's unclear who actually fired the shots that killed Adams. So far, Miller is the only person charged in connection to this shooting, but it's clear police do believe that other suspects were involved. Miller's arraignment is scheduled for this afternoon. Live in Lexington, Whitney Wetzel, WKYT.
Whitney, thank you. Police have released new and disturbing details about the murder of a Pulaski County woman. Investigators found Monica Wells's body last week in a sinkhole. Police now say her boyfriend, Johnny Hendricks, beat her to death. He's charged with her murder. And during a hearing for Hendricks yesterday, investigators testified that Wells's 8-year-old son witnessed Hendricks beating her at their home. They also say they found blood all over the living room area. Investigators say Hendricks put the body in a sinkhole, hoping to hide what had happened.
He thought she'd go in that water and they'd never find her. That's why he took her driver's license, her medical card, her social security card.
Investigators also testified that Hendricks killed Wells after finding her with another man. Hendricks' attorney argued that his client acted under extreme emotional disturbance, so he asked the judge to lessen the charge to manslaughter. But the judge kept the murder charge and sent the case on to a grand jury.
Well, today a UK freshman football player is expected to go before a judge.
Lloyd Tubman pled not guilty to rape earlier this month. Today, a judge will decide whether or not a grand jury should hear the case. WKYT's Mark Barber is live from District Court with more on what we expect to happen in court there today. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Bill and Rebecca. That preliminary hearing will begin in just a few hours. Now, defensive lineman Lloyd Tubman was suspended from UK's football team earlier this month after he was charged with first-degree rape. He was charged with rape on October 7th after police say he visited an acquaintance in her dorm room on UK's campus. According to an arrest citation, Tubman verbally and physically assaulted her and then forced her to have sex with him. At his arraignment, the 20-year-old pleaded not guilty. He was ordered to move back to Louisville to live with his parents and to have no contact with the alleged victim. Because Tubman did not have an arrest record, he was released on a $10,000 bond. He's scheduled to be back in court for a preliminary hearing here at District Court at 8:30 this morning. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you. An annual Lexington rally held to protest police brutality took on a new meaning this year in light of Ferguson, Missouri protests after the shooting death of Michael Brown. You're looking at video now of the protest.
Late to her appointment.
Courthouse last night, holding signs, praying and reading poetry. They also put photos of victims of police brutality in the middle of a prayer circle. In addition, they held a moment of silence for 4 minutes. 1 minute for each hour authorities say that Brown's body was left on the ground.
In Ferguson, Missouri, last night, protesters once more clashed with police. This followed an autopsy report explaining Michael Brown's death. 2 protesters were detained Wednesday night after throwing water bottles at police. The official autopsy shows one of Brown's gunshot wounds was at close range, a shot to the hand, according to local media, which could corroborate Officer Darren Wilson's account that he and Brown struggled in the patrol car before Brown was shot. Some witnesses give a different account.
A strange crash in Louisville injured 2 emergency medical technicians. Police say an ambulance swerved to miss a school bus at an intersection, but the ambulance still clipped the bus and ended up on its side. Police say 2 EMTs in the ambulance were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. No children were on board the bus at the time. Police say the driver was not injured.
Some big changes have been planned for Lexington's Red Mile racetrack. As part of a partnership with Keeneland, the Red Mile will begin to offer instant racing next year. The game is also known as historical race wagering. An instant racing parlor will be built at the Red Mile with about 1,000 terminals inside. Red Mile leaders expect the project to be complete by next September. Revenues from instant racing games will be split between the Red Mile and Keeneland. We'll get your camera gear and goggles ready. A partial solar eclipse is set to happen today in our time zone. It's set to start late this afternoon at 5:49, really the evening hours. The eclipse will continue until the sun sets at 6:03. In most areas, about half the sun will be covered. This will be the 3rd eclipse that's been visible in the U.S. this year, with the first 2 being lunar eclipses.
And with clear skies, maybe you can see it this afternoon. Well, a movie about a Kentucky football player who beat the odds will premiere tonight. You're watching a preview of 23 Blast. It's about Corbin High School football player Travis Freeman. He played football there during the 1990s despite being blind. And quite a bit of the movie was shot in Corbin, and it will premiere tonight at the Kentucky Theater at 6. There'll be a red carpet event starting at 5 o'clock today, and then it's going to be across the nation shown in theaters.